There we go. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
And make sure
All
you
right.
keep an eye on that actual uh participants so that you can let people in the room. I'm going to go
Yes,
ahead
sir.
and get everything started, guys. I want to personally welcome you guys to this Zoom meeting. This is all about AI employee. Tony will be running this one. I got a little issues I got to take care of. Actually, not issues. My wife and I agree to go somewhere for a second. But he will be running this meeting tonight. As he mentioned, if he has any issue with his internet, he's going to tell you guys, okay, let's start this some other time. And he's going to jump off of the internet and record it himself on his computer and then upload it in the morning. But you guys will be able to ask questions and stuff because he's going to, like I said, allow you guys to ask questions on the recording in the morning if he has any issue with the internet tonight. So
Yeah.
no worries. You will have a recording of this full thing tonight. The only issue isn't him having a, it's not an issue with him recording from his actual computer. It's an issue when he does this thing from the actual Zoom meeting from the internet. And that's where everything is getting slowed up at. So with that
Yeah.
being said, Tony, the floor is yours.
All right. All right. So, yeah, thank you guys, man, for coming in and being part of this, man. I wanted to show some of the AI stuff to you guys since everybody here has been involved in a lot of AI at a high level. Um, some of this stuff is going to look familiar to you guys. Some of it I really like, and I'll give you my personal opinion on it. As Charles mentioned, if anything goes on, I will record and answer questions on the back end for you guys when I'm not in the Zoom, then it moves a lot smoother for some reason. Maybe I just need a new computer. Um, so does anybody it it sounds like everybody is kind of new to the AI in GHL, but has anybody had any chance to play with any part of it at all?
Not really.
Not really?
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been messing around with the AI voice agent for about the last month or so.
Okay. Yeah,
I've been just setting up my settings, the business settings and all that. That's kind of all I've done so far.
cool. Cool.
Yeah.
So and that's good because everything I told Charles that the stuff that we've been covering in the class, this is going to look really familiar for you guys. Um, Brian, I know that the voice AI was very familiar for you because it's running on 11 labs. So you got a good choice of really good voices there.
Yep.
And the prompting, as you guys know, the key is in the prompt. So um, but what I would like to do here is I have it right now on the social planner. Is anybody, do you guys have your GHL hooked up to your social medias at all here?
Yeah.
That would show. All right. I know Joe does. Um, all right. So the first thing that you guys would want to do is make sure that all of your socials are connected in order to make this run as smoothly as possible. And then for the social planner, in order to get to the planning AI, or I'm sorry, the marketing or content AI, there is no place over here for content AI. You might choose AI agents, and then it has content on as one of the options there. But if you go to marketing, click the marketing over on the left hand side and go to social planner, then you're right here. Over here, it shows all of the socials that's currently connected, and you can add more there if you want to. Um, yeah, has all of those there and will show you where you're connected. But the main thing is that if we want some assistance, so as you guys know, we can, I think I mentioned it last time, you can put on a CSV file and put all of your content, all of your posts, social media posts on that CSV file and upload it into GHL. And also, if you hit new post over here on the side, then what will happen is one of the options down at the bottom or close to the bottom is content AI. Okay. So keep that in mind. You go to marketing, right? Your social media, new post, and then you choose the content AI. Okay. So can everybody see the screen that popped up there for me?
Yeah.
All right. Very good. So I have my these three connected here. Let me move this up here. Make this a little smaller. All right. And what we're going to do is just choose the options that we have here. You can see we have LinkedIn, YouTube, a couple other options here. And then another part here is that you can choose which type of content it's going to be. So reels are really popular because everybody has a super short attention span. You know? So you make a 10-minute, once not 10-minute, you make a 10-second to about 30-second video and you can post it here. But let's just pretend like we're going with a post, and then I'm going to show you how easy this is laid out here. And I think the main draw for these things um, is that we know a lot of AI options out there, but this is all housed inside of GHL. So you don't have to go outside and come back in and everything else. So it's a trade-off there. Um, Now, when you create your social media planning or the content planning, what you can do here is at the top, it says use your brand voice. Okay. And the brand voice, you probably have heard of that before, but that's where you can upload the voice of your company. So, just how we do with um, uploading documents for our SOPs or for our elevator pitches or even the URLs that we have. We can add that into the brand voice here. And then once you do, it's one of the options here. I have one that's mechanic here that I was working with here. And you choose it there. Of course, you could choose the kind of tone you want for it. And everybody knows the act as if kind of prompt. So we know how we're going to make this happen. And it depends on the kind of response you want. But here's where we get into the meat of it, right? What do you want to share with your Facebook audience in this post? So they give you some examples about a summer collection, a new announcement, a special that you might be running, or anything like that, or just to try and find more leads, right? And you can see down right below that, it says, um, what are you trying to achieve with this post? So I did one a little bit before we came on here. Sorry for the delay on bringing people up too. So I did one here, and let me just show you. So what I did was, I don't know if you guys heard the last time, but I have a business, Local Motion, that helps people with their consistency across different directories on the internet. So what I did was it was really simple. I just put, look, I'm looking to share some new information here, and the reason why is to drive more traffic, right? And so, believe it or not, uh, it took a few minutes here, but it came out with this entire option here, and as soon as it comes up, I'll show it to you guys. Um, but it's literally almost everything. Hold on one second. Um, so I have a VA that works with me, and whenever I have a need for a web page or anything else, then I kind of put it in the chat GPT. I'll give them all of the particulars or the specifics. But here I didn't do any of that. Right? This is all them was created on its own. It took about, I think it was about 4 minutes altogether. Um, and this is a strong jumping off point to have it already here, and then you can get in there and design it, change the pictures and everything else. But let me tell you something. Um, before they had this, they just had templates. And the templates are like, they're kind of automotive, shopping, things like that. And that was a huge leap forward. This right here is, I mean, I couldn't even ask for more here. Um, Again, we all know how to do this on Manus, right? We all know how to do this on different AI or large learning models here. But here, it's already here. So it just skips an additional step that you have to do. Um, who was that kept having the question about the uploading the code to the to the web page? Um, so you don't have to face that issue um, with that here. Any questions, guys, on this one here? Now, this is just a funnel builder, so it's not going to be multiple pages. You could check right here. It's only going to be the one page. But I
Okay.
mean, come on.
You can't beat
Like,
that.
no, you can't. You can't beat that. Um, Something like this would take my VA. I mean, he's been with me for almost 2 years here, and something like this would take him. It wouldn't take him long, but it's nowhere near as fast as this is. And then what you can also do is combine the two, is come up with the plan, prompt it, have it come out with everything, and just hand this off to your VA and say, hey, here's the page, but I want these changes. Here's my image. Here's my logo. Here's this and that. And that way, now you're taking this from being like a week long process. Even if you were selling funnels, um, you could turn around and have multiple customers, right, ready to go in a few minutes just using this here. Um, any questions, guys, on that?
No, that's pretty neat though, Tony. I like that.
Cool, man. Yeah, and you saw it was very little prompting. I put, I think this was made with 3 sentences. I didn't put a lot into it, right? So, and I was surprised. I just wanted a quick demo to show you guys, and it came up with all of this. So, um, keep an eye out for that, man. This
Yeah.
this is very cool. Um, all right. So, what I want to get into next is the workflow AI, which is a nice one. Even though I don't, it's a little concerning that AI is making workflows now, but that's okay. That's okay. So something that I wanted to show you guys while I was going over the AI, we know that it can do it can help you start a workflow, or you can actually let me show you guys. Here, let me pull up. Yeah, I think it is this one. Here you go. So I wanted to see something with this workflow AI. I know Charles has kind of mastered getting or had it creating sub accounts and everything else, uh, which is which is amazing. Uh, but with this one here, some of you guys might be comfortable with creating that workflow or starting the workflow, but then you kind of get to a point where the YouTube videos aren't working anymore, right? You're at the point where you understand enough, where you're not getting any value out of these new YouTube videos, but you don't have that personal touch to help you kind of over the hump. So what I want to show is as soon as this comes up, in every workflow that you have, whether it's a brand new start from scratch or it's starting from a template, right? You're gonna, oh my, don't do this. Don't do this. Hold on a second, because this is a big workflow. Um, yeah, if you're starting from scratch, or if you've already created some things, right, and you kind of got to, kind of hit the wall a little bit. This actually have an analyze my workflow feature that I want to show you guys. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, no
No,
problem.
we here. We just waiting, man. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. I thought I heard somebody say something. Um, yeah, if I could get this. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, wait. And when I gave this a shot earlier, let me see here. So this is a workflow that I created. I've been building since 2023, I think, and just kind of building on it and everything like that. No, here it is right here. All right. So this is one of my more complicated workflows. And when I saw the AI, I saw that it could do like the very easy things. Like you can go into the AI and just say, "Hey, I would like to create a follow-up sequence," right? That lasts for 2 weeks, text people every couple of days. Very easy kind of workflow. But when you hit this button over here, um, what it does, and this is a I can get this thing coming up. There we go. All right, cool. All right. So these options kind of surprised me a little bit, because I thought that it was something that you could initially just kind of a clunky here is a 7-day workflow. Here is a follow-up sequence. But you can see at the top here, they have how do I? So it's kind of like a tutor there where you can ask the questions directly inside of GHL. Um, the assist with building, that kind of self-explanatory. But here is one here that I thought was super cool. Was it describe this workflow so the AI can actually analyze all of the options that you got going on and tell you what this workflow, what the what the goal of this workflow is. So in just about a minute here, you can see that it analyzed the entire workflow, and I'll zoom out on this workflow just so you guys can see how fast this was. But you can see it says this workflow helps manage conversations with contacts using automated steps. It starts by giving a task to a specific user and tagging the contact, right? Then it sends a message asking if the contact is the right person and waits for a reply. If the contact responds, it checks their phone number, if it can receive text messages, right? But check this out. So let me show you. Let me back out of this workflow a little bit here. And this is one that I've been meaning to take a screenshot of and put it into Chat GPT. Um, but I honestly had Chat GPT make a recipe for me yesterday. Took a picture of my refrigerator and just said, what can give me some recipes? And swear to you, it saw the carrots in there. It saw everything. And then when it gave me something that I didn't like, I just said, give me something else here. Um, so if I could get this to go down here, there we go. And also, you could suggest the next step. So if you guys get to a point where you're like following up, you run out of options on what you can honestly do, the suggest next steps is a super good one, because it will suggest maybe you will want to email, maybe you will want an internal text message sent to you, some sort of alert internally, um, and something that you just don't think about all the time. But let's see here. If I could get this.
This workflow AI, Tony, that's in all systems now. I'm trying to remember if I've seen that.
So the workflow AI, that's part of their summer of AI
Okay.
deal that's going on. Charles mentioned that. So right now, I think Charles has a a certain amount of time before they start charging for
Oh,
this
okay.
service.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to activate it, drop a message to Charles and he could get that started for you.
Right.
Um, hold on, let me try to get this down here. I'm about to bounce on this thing. But you guys could basically see this is the chat bot that was created, and basically it just spaghetti strings all over the place. But if you were to look at it, or if I was to look at it with fresh eyes, um, it would take me quite a while to figure out what's going on when the AI was able to do that in just a second or two. Now, what's the use cases of that? Um, I'm on the path. I'm trying to figure out if ChatGPT will actually take pictures of workflows and then recreate them here. If that's possible, then every YouTube video you see or any new workflow that you see somebody's offering in Facebook or anything like that, you can just take a picture of it and upload it to ChatGPT, no matter how small the print is, too. I want you guys to remember that.
Right.
Um, so one of my side cases that I use ChatGPT for, not this, but you know how people put their business cards up at a business,
Hmm.
and it's that big wall, the cork wall that has all the cards on there. Take a picture of it and put it into ChatGPT, and then say like, give me the names, addresses, right, and then break it down into the spreadsheet pattern.
Oh, okay.
And then now, whenever you see those boards, instead of looking up and saying, man, those people look like they could use some help, you just take a picture of it. And now you have about 40 or 50 people you could reach out
That's
to.
like the ones they put in supermarkets and stuff like that.
That's right.
All right,
That's right.
gotcha.
Um, and for some reason, this thing isn't acting right for me here. But did you guys have any questions on the remainder of these? I'll do a separate video on this too. Um, did you guys want to see any of these options or have any specific questions?
I just like to, I got to talk with Charles about that. I like to just to see how it works. I don't know if I'd pay for it. I just like to see how it works.
Well, you know what? That that's a good point, Joe. Is this might not be something that somebody would want for the long term,
Mm.
especially on the workflows. Now, they do have a way where you can do it pay per use with GHL.
Okay.
So if you guys don't like the workflow AI, or if you use it one time just to lock in those workflows, and then you say you don't want to use it anymore, just don't use it, and you won't be charged for the usage. Same thing goes with the conversational AI and with the voice AI
Okay.
as well. Okay. Um, any other questions
No,
regarding that?
I like what I see.
All right, cool, cool, cool. So on the other one here is the AI agents, and I think Israel said he was messing with the wait, was it you? No, Brian messing with the voice. So
Yeah,
easy to use. What you think, Brian?
very, very easy to use. Just set
Yeah.
up the knowledge base. I created a bunch of Google Docs and put all the knowledge that I wanted the bot to have inside of the Google Docs and then linked it there. And it's just been going off of that.
All right, here we go. You stole my thunder a little bit, but no, I'm
My
just kidding.
bad.
No, I know, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Everybody knows this has a knowledge base just like the other AIs. Oh, hold on one second. Let somebody in here. Um, the AI agents. So let's go here. And like I mentioned before, it uses um, 11 labs, right? And this option is for admins only. So it would be create your custom agent from scratch. And then once you do that, again, the UI or the user interface is the big thing here. Instead of running over to um, what's the one, Vappy. Instead of using VAPI to come into or VAPI to make to GHL, it's all right here. Okay.
If
Um,
your voice is already cloned in 11 labs, you can use it. Because we
no,
we
I
used to use 11 labs about a year or so ago. So I was
yeah,
wondering.
I don't. So I have a VAPI account too, but I don't see any way to log into VAPI through GHL in order to access those voices. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So they give you a, boilerplate set of voices here. These, and don't get me wrong, just because they're the standard voices, they're not bad. Right?
Okay.
These are really good. Here, Brian could attest to it. Once you choose the right one here, these right now are only on the inbound, right? But you
Hmm.
can see this says it's coming soon. The
Hmm.
outbound calls, okay? Which I already know of some people offering outbound calls, but whenever I speak to Charles in a one-off, he's how he feels about outbound calls is a little just watch yourself,
Hmm.
right? Because the AI outbound calls is a brand new thing everywhere, and I don't know if you guys get any calls, but I get a ton of them. So I think people are using it a lot more. But GHL just hasn't figured it out. One, because they have that A2P situation. And I think they're being more hesitant on offering this outbound until they could get their hands around it a little better. Okay. But with that being said, we still have a really cool inbound call agent. Agent works 24/7. You don't have to do anything. You put the initial message here, and this already comes, it already says, hey, you reached blank. How may I help you? But however you want to change that. Okay. Um, then when you go to, let's go here. Hold on one second. Let me make this smaller here. I think you guys are blocking my way to move forward. There we go. Yep. Next. All right. And let me make this a little bigger for you guys. But like Brian mentioned here, you can select the knowledge base. So you got a lot of different, or if you got a couple of different businesses, load them all up, give them separate names, and let them answer the calls as they come in. Okay. Now, on the earlier versions of the AI, it was a little bit of using Make or Zapier in order to kick off certain things in GHL. Well, right now, they're learning. Okay, so right here, you could collect this information, and I believe this information will be expanded in the future. And when they get this information, it goes directly into the field in GHL.
Okay.
Okay, so no, you don't have to duplicate your work or anything like that. Let the AI collect the information, click these, right? Then it's going to ask for that information, and you're good to go. Okay,
I'm just
now,
wondering, not to cut you short, I'm just
no,
wondering
go ahead.
how this would work when, like, I have Lead Connect, so most of the calls that come in come straight to Lead Connector.
Perfect.
So I'm wondering how would this take over from Lead Connect?
Well, remember, Lead Connector is just the white label of Twilio.
Okay.
Okay, so which means that Lead Connector has the same phone numbers, right? The same entry doors, for the lack of a better term. So when they call the number, and let's say you had Twilio, you was signed up with Twilio, not Lead Connector. When they ring 555-1234, it's going to go through Twilio. When they dial that same number and you switch over to Lead Connector, That's going to still get to you just using Lead Connect, still using Twilio,
Okay.
right? Just a white label of it. So you give out your phone number, Joe, or the new phone number that you buy, or whatever you
Right.
want to do, right? You give that number out as your call center, right? And
Okay.
then that number is attached to this AI, voice AI. So when they call, that's who they'll be speaking to. Okay.
Okay.
Um, Now underneath the collection, underneath that, they also add a call summary as a note to your contacts. Okay. So it will break down the entire set of this entire conversation right there. So you could review it, kind of pick out some of the key points there. And it's all stored in the note section. Whenever you look at a contact on the right side, that's where you want to access your notes. Right top.
Hmm.
Um, and then you could also trigger a workflow when the call is completed. So one thing I used to like to do is when I would talk to somebody and have a good conversation with them, and they met all of the goals here, then I would like to send them some of my credibility report, right? So which means here's my website, here's some customer testimonials, things like that, and I would have that in a workflow. Well, now once they finish the phone call, if you click this, then you can choose the workflow that's going to get kicked off as soon as that call hangs up. Less clicks.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it yourself, right? Um, which is super awesome, super awesome. And then you can receive an email notification after the call is completed, right? And you could specify who's going to get that, but you could determine that for yourself here. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Let me uncheck that. All right.
Hey, Tony.
Yes, sir.
It does an audio recording of the call too, I assume.
It does. Oh, wait,
Okay,
wait,
so
wait,
just
wait a
even
second. Hold up. Yes, because all the calls that go through, yes, and
okay,
I'll double check to make sure. But all of the calls, the one thing about GHL that I like more than anything else is all of those recordings are stored in there for what I can tell is forever.
okay.
I,
No matter if
so
it's a human voice or an AI voice.
I don't think there's any determination, but I'll double check and make sure that that's correct for you, Tim.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Um,
I know I can go
so
back a couple years and I can still hear the recording.
yeah, right.
Oh,
As long as I've had GHL, I can go back all of those years and check out the
okay.
recording. So,
Yeah.
um,
I
I
don't
have
like
a
listening
feeling
to my first recordings. They were pretty bad.
everybody's first recordings were really bad, just more bad than others. So that's all. Um, the, Here on the last part, on the third step, is where you would test your agent. So you select the phone number, okay, and
Yeah.
then enter the phone number to receive the call, right? And then you could test it out right here. Right? Just have your cell phone just waiting for you. Test it out. Answer a few questions. Try to trip it up a little bit to see if it works or see if it's performing as intended. Okay. Um, and then you can enable the AI agent as the backup to the phone number pool, so somebody doesn't answer. Right? Or you can set the working hours for the agent. But if you don't set it, it's 24/7. Okay. If you got somebody who's answering the phones before you during the day, not a problem. You could take this off because this right here will be the backup. Okay. Um, Now as far as using your phone numbers, it depends on how much history this phone number has for you. Okay. I wouldn't take any phone numbers that you had on any sort of um the same number that does the cold calls, right? Can be the same number. You can put it into the pool here for them to call you back here. But if you put it into a pool, then they can answer from a number of different lines here. The one thing I will say is that at the very end of the conversation, you want to make sure to add a little something onto it. AIs are very like matter of fact. So as soon as they finish that last goal, thank you. And that just kind of leaves a little bad taste for some people. So just make sure you prompt it um, good, and you shouldn't have any problems here.
So
Um,
I'm a little confused.
yeah.
I'm dealing with Philadelphia, Baltimore, Maryland, and Florida. How are them numbers work with you?
Oh, yeah. Let's go back. So you would take these numbers. Oh, these are already used by me. I will have to buy a new number. Doggone it.
So we keep switching numbers every so often anyway because of spam,
Yeah.
So every time we switch a number, we got to change it in this.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's another step, but you're doing all the right stuff in order to make sure you don't get hit with the spam, though.
Right, right.
So yeah, this is just one more step in that chain of success that you've been having. Just keep doing that.
Okay.
Um,
You also mentioned about usage instead of the 24/7. How is that triggered?
so well, no, it's the usage and 24/7 are two two different things. So the 24/7 is when the bot is available, right? It's available all day, every day. But the usage applies to when someone actually calls and the AI picks up. It's a charge per minute um, for the AI unless you had an unlimited plan. So if
Well,
you plan on,
in other words, versus the charge per minute versus the 97 a month or 120 a month or whatever like that.
that's right. That's
Okay.
right. But I want you guys to keep in mind too that one second, hold on. Oh, oh, that's my cousin. I want you guys to keep in mind too, though, is that all of these are inside of GHL, right? And I know that we have different AIs that we can go to and we can kind of build it over there and bring it into GHL. But they have the workflow AI, the voice AI, the chat AI, the marketing or content AI, and the funnel AI. So if you guys are big users of uh, hell, one of those, right? And then you get all the other ones unlimited as a bonus, right? And like I look, I'm not talking. I know I'm preaching to the choir here. You guys aren't like newbies or anything like that. I know you can make it over there and bring it over, right? But
Mhm.
it's just the fact that you have less clicks and a good user interface over here that's pretty easy to use, right? That's just based on fields and descriptions.
I got you.
Okay.
Hey, Tony.
Yes, sir.
Um, is the goal of the AI inbound um, agent, I guess, is it to just gather up the information, or is it to like suss out whether it's a deal or not? Because like, how would they know how to like
Mm-hmm.
if let's say the caller is just going on and on and on and using up your minutes, but it's not really a deal? Does the AI know to cut the call off at any point, or
Oh,
is it
that's a
just to
good.
gather their phone number and basic information? Or
No, it's just an information gatherer.
okay,
Okay. So it's not going to. it doesn't have any sort of for the lack
Not
of a
going to try
better
to
term, like a
negotiate.
BS, yeah, a BS detector,
Yep.
or and to be honest, when it comes to negotiations, um, when AI first started, people were trying to figure out how to do that, to get it to negotiate. But I'll say even the newest of new people are better at human interactions than the AI.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, because you know the levers of people, right? You could hear that smile, right?
Yep.
You could sense the sarcasm, right? Or see
Mm-hmm.
the additional clues. So AI, as far as a customer facing, I would leave the AI as a data collection or
Hmm.
setting an appointment kind of a thing. Leave the details to you and the more experienced human beings.
Okay.
Okay. Um, let's
Is
see.
there
Any
still a hesitation with the AI? In other words, once they say one thing, and then there's a hesitation between that and the next thing they say?
um well, you mean like a couple of seconds in between?
Yeah,
Like the little pause?
yeah.
Let me see. It was a let me check something real quick because I think I remember seeing something and I might just be referring to the chat uh AI, but let me take a look here. There we go. All right. Great question. Great question, Joe. Thank you, man.
Mhm.
Um, so it- this actually addresses what you were saying here, Tim. Um, if you want to limit the amount of time, right? So the
Okay.
AI is not sitting up and just gossiping with the girls, right? Having on 20 minutes, right? You just have it at 5 minutes, right? You're good to go, right?
Okay.
N- now, Joe, when it comes to you and the response speed, here is where you would change that.
Okay.
Okay.
That's normal, brisk, and fast.
hmm
Okay.
Okay. So you don't even have to put the seconds or anything down there.
Mhm.
Okay. Now the seconds is for idle time, right? The AI agent will remind the contact after a fixed time of silence during the call. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah, that silent, that small bit of silence. No, no,
Mhm.
no, no, no. We're gonna cut that down because again, we're getting charged up here,
Right.
right? So we don't want to allow them to just eat up all of our time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Thank you for that. Um, did that answer both of you guys' questions?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect,
Yep.
perfect, perfect. All right. And I think the last, you have the chat, the conversational. So let's go here. And all of these, the conversational and the voice AI are both under the AI agents. Uh, the social planning or the content AI, just remember that's under marketing for you guys.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Uh, so we already did the voice. So now we got the conversational. Uh, this is the one that's probably going to get the most amount of reps for you, right? The one that's going to be in the gym late night. Just keep on banging them away, right?
Yep.
Um, and so here, let me show you how this works. Again, we have the knowledge base here that Brian mentioned. And that knowledge base is once you upload that knowledge, now you can use it in the voice and the chat. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, when you create a brand new bot, you can choose between these two options. So is it primarily an appointment booking or is it just a general question and answer? As far as the appointment booking goes, I don't know if anybody else has experienced the same thing. You guys could correct me if you have a difference of opinion. Uh, but trying to get the bot to play nice with calendars is always a harder thing than it should be for some reason. And what I mean by that is the AI, if you chose the appointment booking, uh, then it will give you the option of, hold on, let me just go to the next one here. Because what I like to do is instead of loading the calendar to the AI and saying, here's my calendar, check for some good spots to get an appointment. What I like to do is make it offer the appointment booking link to your calendar, right?
Okay. Okay.
The, yeah. Now the reason for that is twofold, right? One is just the technical. For some reason, you guys probably know, but at my daytime, I'm at T. Rowe Price with dealing with Salesforce, and doing that, they're right now in the process of doing something with the calendar, and it's just driving them crazy. And it's the same thing that I've seen with the AI trying to access an outside calendar that's sometimes connected to your Google Calendar, right? That works back and forth, that has dual sync. And so that's just too much stuff going on,
Yeah.
in my opinion, right? So what I've always done, or what I've done after it offered times that were just not available on my schedule,
Hmm.
was just to have the link for the calendar and just have it available. And then that way, the second thing that it does is it lets you know that you have a real appointment. See, when the AI books an appointment, his only goal is to book an appointment. If that person says, if you say, "Are you ready on the 32nd of January?" and the person says yes, it'd be like, "Great, appointment." Now I'm oversimplifying that because it's going to look at it's no 32. But what I'm saying is that its goal is to just get an appointment,
Hmm.
regardless if it's a real appointment or not. I've always I'm of the mindset that if you give them the link and then they click the link, find a day that's good for them, click that, and then hit finish, that's a way more solid appointment
Makes
than,
sense.
yeah, than having the bot just going like, how about Tuesday at 3? How about Tuesday at 4:30? How about Wednesday?
Yeah.
And somebody just goes like, sure, Wednesday. It's like, great,
They
thanks.
this way they click the link and they pick the day and time.
That's right. That's right. So that's the option that I always like to use when it comes to making the appointments. Okay.
Hmm.
But if we're here, let me just make sure here. See, my the internet decided to work with me today. So it was all because of you guys. Couldn't have done it without you. All right, so this is where we will put in the bot name. We have an option of making this like the head bot, primary bot. Also, again, the kind of theme here is the ease of use. This now has your preferred channel, so now you can connect all of these different options just on this one field without make, Zapier, APIs, or anything like that. All of it is housed right here. Okay. Um, now, Joe, you mentioned the wait time
Hmm.
for responding. Here's the wait time where you can adjust that.
Gotcha.
Um, the default is 2 seconds, but I'm going to tell you something. If you have it at 2 seconds, 3 seconds, or something like that, you'll have about 3 to 4 questions before somebody goes, "Is this AI?"
Yeah.
right? Because the quick responses with a whole paragraph full of stuff just doesn't fly, right? Well, I'm sorry, it flies for some people because a lot of people get tricked with
So you
AI.
normally had it set at 2?
No, I'll usually set it at about 5 to about 7 or so.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to have that. Think about it. If a text comes in to you, then you have to type out a response, even if you're right there typing it. That's going to take you a couple of seconds, and then you might misspell something, and then hit send. The AI, what he'll do is if you have it on 2 seconds, if he decides to write a paragraph and that paragraph comes back in 2 seconds, people start scratching their head like, wait a second,
Yeah,
wait.
I
It,
I've
was
I've
I was kind
I've
of
talked
thinking
to
of,
text bots before, and it's like I know I'm talking to an AI bot, but even when they're replying, you can see the little bouncy dots, and it takes like 5-10 seconds. But you know, there's nobody typing on the other end. It's just a delay that they
right.
put in.
yeah,
Exactly
I
right.
was more or less leaning towards the one speaking, the hesitation. That was what I was referring to.
Right. No, yeah, I get that one. Um, that one, I'm not sure if they have more of a I mean, well, more of a delay than what the three options were there. It was
Mhm.
just slow, brisk, and fast, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I think those three should fit for most of the things. I can't speak honestly on how slow the slow is compared to, the brisk and fast. They didn't have any sort of layout where they said the slow was uh, you know, uh, 7 seconds to 7 to 10 seconds,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
brisk was this and fast was that. So I didn't find anything on that. So you'll have to give it a shot and just see
Okay.
how you like it. Um, all right. And then we have the bot initial message, right? So that's going to be the first thing. Sort of like, welcome to Chick-fil-A, that whole thing. Just make it good. But all pretty self-explanatory. Hold on one second. Um, hold please. All right. So let's go next. And this is where it kind of gets into it. Okay. So here is the bot goals. You guys see these boxes up at the top, just like the conversational. Okay. Works the same way. It's going to collect that information and put it into those fields. So you don't have to look over at the notes and go over to the side and put city and then look at the notes and state and all of that stuff. You
Hmm.
have that here. Um, Now what they also add here is the common questions and objectives. Okay. Now, not only can you add in your own information, such as what's the name, the email, the phone, and then you can add in more, right? Add in more down here. Or you could switch the sequence of it. But also over here, you can update these additional fields, and these go way beyond these fields that's at the top. So, meaning those custom fields, if I could get this to drop down. So, let's say, for example, you do creative financing, and one of your questions is, do you currently have a mortgage? And if so, approximately how much do you still owe on it? Then it can fill in the field, right, that you have for that mortgage owed or amount owed on mortgage and you don't have so far, I don't think that there's a limit here. You can go as many questions as you want to, and since it's text, it pauses, waits for the person to respond. You could give it these objectives. And the thing about AI is when you give it something to accomplish, they will accomplish it. Annoyingly so. Okay. So they will ask the question over and over where, if it's one of us, we'll go like, hey, so how much do you owe on that place? And they like, well, I owe like an arm and a leg. And then by about the third time you ask, you go like, man, I don't want to ask this again. But the AI will 100%. Um, any, oh, wait a second. Hold up. Let's see. Okay. And then here is the appointment booking. Again, this is where you can save the calendar, um, or select the calendar that you would like for it to access. I don't want to pre, uh, what is it, dirty, poison the well, right? So I encourage you guys to give it a shot because just because I had the experience, you guys might have a different one, but I've tried it a couple of times. Um, but you could always put your calendar right there instead of uh, giving it the option of offering the calendar link. Okay.
Is that in there to offer the calendar link?
Um, in the knowledge base,
Yeah, okay. Okay.
if you add that in there, whenever you're booking an appointment, this is the link to use. Offer this link. Um, then you won't have to worry about this option here.
Got you.
Okay. And then trigger workflows after the appointment. Same thing as the conversational. Maybe after each call, you will want to like maybe follow up in a couple of days, saying, "Hey, we had a conversation. Did you have any more questions? We're here to help," kind of thing, right? Then not only will you have your chatbot reaching out, but then you have an automated follow up that you don't even have to activate yourself.
Mhm.
Okay. And then those follow-ups can just happen. Right now, we have workflows that do the follow-ups and everything like that, but we have to put them into it,
Yeah.
right? With this is anybody who has the conversation, anybody who we have the conversation or the text conversation with, we can add them right to that next workflow. Okay. Um, let's see. We got any more here? Here we go. All right. Let me close that down. All right. And you could allow the bot to cancel the appointment, right? So if somebody calls back in or text and say, hey, we had an appointment, today at 4, you could allow the bot to cancel it out. And that way you don't even have to be involved in it.
Will that
You could, oh, go
my,
ahead.
my bad, Tony? Will that
Oh,
still
you
work
good.
even if we give them the link to use to book the appointment with us?
um, I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna test it out tonight.
Okay, cool.
Um, because what I'm thinking here is just how everything works is that if the bot has access to your calendar can't or the contact, could he put that appointment and mark it as canceled? That's a good question. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. Thank you, man.
No problem.
Yeah. Um, man, that's a tough one. Okay. Um, yeah, so he could cancel the appointment or reschedule. And Brian, don't ask it. So I think both both of these involve the having the bot do the actual appointment booking itself, which I'm not a huge fan of, but if it does work correctly and you could allow them to cancel and reschedule here without you being involved, that would be an extra bonus. Okay. Um, let me just check one thing here. Oh, let me take this off. Hold on. Here we go. All right. Boom. All right. And then you can receive email notifications if the bot doesn't know the answer. Okay. Which is very cool. But because we have the knowledge base and we create our knowledge bases or our SOPs or everything else using AI, I don't think we would not have an answer to something unless it got into, like Tim brought up here, how much are you offering, right? In which, in my prompt, for my conversational AIs, I instructed specifically not to negotiate and not to give any prices up front. Um, Also to not try to guess, right? Don't try to check the MLS. Don't try to check Zillow or none of that stuff, right? The very simple answer is I am here to collect information, and that's all I'm doing. The next person that you speak to will be able to go into more details. Okay. You could even position it as, hey, I'm just a data collector. That's all I do. I'm not trained to talk about the specifics of properties, but my partner or my manager is, and he can give you a call back once we complete this phone call. Is that okay? Right.
Got it.
Yep. And then now you don't have to feel that pressure, right? That's the same thing that I always tell VAs, right? If they're cold calling, they don't know the answer to everything. That's
That's
okay.
it. That's it.
Yeah, just tell them, hey, look, I'm just a data collector. That's all I do, right? I'm here from 9 to 5 o'clock, and I collect data. So allow me to collect the data, and then you can speak to the person who will be able to answer those questions for you, right? If they stick around through that type of phone call, that's sort of that's sort of the same thing as offering the people the link and having them click on it themselves,
Mhm.
right? If they show a little bit of patience, they'll stick with you. They'll stick with you. Hold on 1 second. Let me answer this. This is my wife here. All right. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Um, Gets a little worried when I don't come home. Uh, did you did you guys have any questions on this part?
Nah, that sounds everything is great, man. I just gotta learn it. That's all.
Yeah, and it's the way that it's set up for you guys. Look, I mean, like some of us has been in this AI course since the beginning. All of these things are just set up in a nice, comfortable way for us to be able to use it most efficiently,
Mhm.
right? But if we have any problems or issues, we know that we can always go to the 10, 15 other AIs that we know about and can do the finer details of the work. But this addition of the AI to GHL, I think one thing is that I mean, AI is everywhere. Um, but two, that they saw how many people were taking these outside AIs and doing all of this extra work through Zapier, through Make, through the APIs in order to make this work. I can't tell you how many people, when they came out with this AI, people were like, thank goodness. Now I could drop three other things, even though this AI might not be as robust. It's one hell of a good jumping off point, especially when it's making your funnels and it can create your text messages and all of that stuff can be just housed right here. You don't even have to leave off of this little screen.
Now, when it creates the text messages, do you upload that list of words and phrases not to use?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right. Okay.
That's a good question.
Uh, yeah, the list that Joe put a list of words not to use in the classroom. Was it the classroom section or
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
school?
Yeah. And it's in the school community. I forget exactly where.
Yep. And if you haven't already, grab that list, guys. I give that out to all of my new clients because I mean, look, the AI does it for you. Just take the whole list, upload it, say don't use these words. Done.
Right.
Right. Upload the entire Word document, you're fine. Right? And put it in a knowledge base, you're good to go. Put the other instructions, you won't have to worry about it ever again.
Right.
As far as the spam words.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
yeah, those banned words, man. No out of the blues. No way. Don't do that.
okay.
Out of the blue will get you, will have the hammer come down on you. And I think that's because of what's that guy? That guy with the talk to people guy, TTP.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know what you mean.
yeah, that guy. He just out of the blue people all from 2019 to 2022, and then people were like, okay, that's enough. This is everybody saying this.
Brent
So
Daniels.
that's him. Yep.
Yeah, Brent Daniels.
Black t-shirt all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
We had
Um,
when I worked for an investor friend of mine last year doing cold calls for him, and I was taught that the way we opened every phone call if we got someone on the phone was, I'm not even sure if I have the right number here, but I'm looking for the owner of, and then the address,
hmm
and that was the opening every single time, and it kind of threw him off a little bit.
Yep. I call that, and not to get off topic, but I call that like the Columbo,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
Where Columbo would just, his thing was he would always leave the room and he would say one more thing, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I call it the Columbo because it's you're coming from uh, um a place that other people can recognize it and they want to help, right? When you
Yeah.
have that kind of opening. So you get, yeah, I'm calling these numbers. I don't know if this is the right guy, but it's just the owner of 123 Main Street, Joe. And then
Yeah.
they'll
Like
be like,
just a little bit of confusion. Like you're confused. You're not
exactly.
sure.
Yes, indeed. So um, the confusion works not only on the phone, but in person. I'm just going to tell you guys because we kind of over that the AI part. But um, I did a phone call, or I did a Zoom, not a Zoom call, FaceTime with somebody, and I was doing door knocking, and I walked up to a place and it had no trespassing sign on it, and I told them I'm going to knock on this door anyway, right? So the same thing, same confusion. You guys can use it. I went up to the house and I said, "Hey, friend of mine bought the house around the corner. I'm seeing a lot of looks like construction going on. Do you know who has that house two doors up from you?" And they would
Yeah.
start talking about like the grandkids who don't take care of the house and all of this jazz. But and then at the end of it, you say, "Okay, well, thanks, I appreciate it. Hey, one more question. You wouldn't be interested in selling your house, would you?" Right? And
Yep.
and when you do it that way, right, instead of just you want to sell, and like you
Yeah.
hear something go, and then you're like, "Whoa, okay, sorry." But but if you do it that way with getting them to talk about something that has nothing to do with them, something that they can provide you some information on because people like to talk, and then throw that in as the last minute thing. I've had people go, "Hey, actually, I thought about it," and then we have another conversation. So just keep that in mind, guys. That's just
Yep.
something old sales crap that
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
like. Um, Man, thank you guys, man. Did you guys now? I'm opening it up. Any more Q&A? You guys have any other questions at all?
I got
Nah, I
one
got.
Oh,
more.
yeah. Nice presentation, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Tony.
Oh man, I'm glad my internet held up, but it was on you guys' shoulders, so I appreciate it.
There's one thing that I heard about just today. It's probably not in GHL, but just briefly, I was on a Zoom call earlier, and there's something called CloseBot, which I believe is a chat bot, but it's designed to try to overcome the objections and almost close a sale. I don't know if it would work with real estate, but I'm gonna look into that one further. I believe it's called CloseBot, but
I've heard
it's
of it.
So
it
Tim,
intrigued me.
I
let me
was.
tell you all about CloseBot.
Okay, so you
Uh,
know about it.
I do. So CloseBot, I was introduced to Bryce. That's his name. Bryce is the owner of CloseBot, and very early on, in 2023. Somebody said, "Hey, I found an AI that can work with GHL and it qualifies people." And I was, at that time it was like, yeah, right. you know, um, he can't be. He actually has a background in AI. I found out, just talking to him, and very smart guy, right? His clothes bot works very well. I used it for two to actually I still have it. I've been on it for 3 years, 2.5 years now. The thing I like the most about CloseBot, and this is something that GHL right now is trying to copy, right? A lot
Okay.
of these things that you see, these options in here, came from either CloseBot or these options is like ChatGPT, right? But CloseBot has the objective handling that GHL didn't have until recently. So
Okay.
you can have it go in order, like as far as the four pillars. So you could say, you guys know the four pillars, like how much, what's the damage of the place when you're looking to sell, and it's one other one I can't remember, but
Motivation.
motivation. There you go. So you can have it set up to ask all four of those. Now the difference was, or I think still is with CloseBot, is that it can handle all of those objectives at one time. So just because you have it set as like, tell me about the condition of the house. In GHL, it's going to ask that question and then go to the next step and ask that question, right? Which is, let's see, what's the condition of the, no, I'm sorry, motivation?
Motivation, condition,
Motivation.
price, and timeline.
There you go. So, condition, you can have it go to the second step and then go to the third step and the fourth step. CloseBot has a button that says handle all objectives at once. So if the person just starts spilling their guts and they go like, well, hey, the house is banged up. I only want 100,000 for it. I'm ready to leave like last year. It's gonna say objectives closed, right? And then have the final part of it there. That's a close message. Now, what they also did is that they created their own flow chart like this inside of CloseBot, where you don't have to do it through GHL.
Okay.
Back in the day, we had to have CloseBot come into GHL through API, and then it had to go through the workflows in order to answer the questions, and then you would tell it to turn the bot off and all of that stuff. Well, now they have a button there that says, see if this is another bot,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
So if your bot, and this has happened to me, somebody goes like, "Hey, we're running a special at the roofing, at Tom's Roofing," and then my bot is like, "Cool, tell me what's your experience level and go high level," and the bot is like, "Well, we got roofs for." No, 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 because those things would just talk forever, right?
The two
So
bots
now
are negotiating with each other.
that's right. That's right. So it has a button now where it can recognize another bot as well. And it
Nice.
has follow up built in and all of this stuff. Bryce is he's a good dude. He's a good dude.
What is
The
he
the
charged for that?
I think it is I think it's he just did the V2. I got in on a special because I was back in the day. But I think for one bot, I think it's don't misquote me on it, but I think it's somewhere between 80 to $100
Mhm.
for
Wow.
one bot. But then you can have multiple bots, and the user interface very cool, right? Like he did it before GHL did it. The only issue that he's facing now is that GHL, they're always making these improvements and he's always making, so it won't be long before they start to like be right on each other, or GHL is right on CloseBot's behind.
Right.
Yeah.
But I encourage you, check it out. It It's very cool. And it handles the questions. He prompts it very good up front. So it's very little prompting that you have to do. And he was, like I said, he was an AI guy. I think he was in the banking sector or something like that, doing actual artificial intelligence or programming and stuff. So he knows his stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's my guy. Um, if you decide to sign up, I have an affiliate link. If you,
Right.
I was just about
Send
to
it to
say,
me
Tony,
anyway,
Yeah.
Tony.
I was
there we
about to
go.
say, Tony, I got to reach out to you about the my closed bot for that motion CRM still because I haven't set it up yet still, man.
Ah, okay, no
So,
problem.
Send
Reach
me the
out to
link
me.
anyway, Tony.
will do.
I will, Joe. I'll send it out to you. And do me a favor because I'm about to as soon as we wrap up here, I'm gonna head on back home. But Joe, if I don't get it to you tonight, do me a favor and just text me. You got my number, or
Oh
put it in
yeah,
the
I'll
school
text you in the
group.
morning. No
Yeah,
problem.
absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And all you guys, I believe all you guys got my number, or you can reach out to me on. I think you guys got my number though. If you don't, I'll put it in the chat if anybody wants it. If you have any questions or anything else, um, man,
Would
thank you. Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I just need you to resend me the link again, actually.
Okay,
Need
okay.
it. Yeah.
I got you covered, Brian. Yeah, actually, let me put this on my. Actually, let me put it on my phone right here as a task. So I'm gonna send. What is the? Oh, stop it! I'm glad it waited. Task. Okay. So Joe, close but link. Okay. Save. And then we're gonna get Brian, close but link. All right. Got you guys. Yep. All right. Um. All right. I'm gonna do it like Charles. Any other questions?
No, very good, Tony. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you,
All
Tony.
right.
That was good.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
no problem.
you.
Hey, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad everything was working today. Um. Again, if you guys don't have any further questions, man, reach out to me on school. You guys, any which way possible. You guys know I'm not hiding anywhere. Facebook, anything else. So, um, I look forward to anything you guys have to offer or ask.
Thanks
Thanks a lot,
again.
Tony.
Okay.
Yes, sir. All right. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
You too.
All right.